My rude cousin mocked my baking hobby, so I got sweet revenge at her wedding. I, 26F, have a cousin, Lisa, 29F, who's always been the golden child of our family. She's got that I'm better than you vibe and never misses a chance to remind everyone. Her favorite target? My baking hobby. I'm not a pro, but I love making cakes and pastries, and I've gotten pretty good at it. I run a small side hustle selling custom cupcakes and get great reviews. But Lisa? She'd roll her eyes and say stuff like, "Oh, you're still playing with flour?" Or, "Why bother when you can just buy a cake from Costco?" Always loud enough for everyone at family gatherings to hear. Last year, Lisa got engaged, and she was insufferable. She was planning this over-the-top wedding and kept bragging about how perfect it would be. I stayed out of her way, but at a family BBQ, she cornered me and said, "I'd ask you to make my wedding cake, but I don't want my guests eating something that looks like a Pinterest fail." Cue her fake laugh and our relatives' awkward silence. I smiled politely, but inside, I was done. Here's where the revenge comes in. Lisa's fiance, Tom, is a super chill guy and actually loves my baking. He'd secretly ordered cupcakes for me for his office parties before. A few weeks after the BBQ, Tom reached out and asked if I could make a small surprise groom's cake for the wedding reception. He wanted something fun and personal, like a chocolate stout cake with a nerdy D&D theme. He's a huge D&D fan. He swore me to secrecy because Lisa was controlling every detail of the wedding and would flip if she knew he was adding something without her approval. I agreed, partly because I like Tom and partly because I saw an opportunity. I spent weeks perfecting this cake. 3 tiers, rich chocolate stout flavor, decorated with edible dice, a fondant dragon, and a little sugar figurine of Tom's D&D character. It was a masterpiece, if I do say so myself. I also threw in a dozen mini cupcakes with the same theme for the head table. Tom was thrilled when I showed him photos, and we arranged to have the cake delivered to the venue as a surprise during the reception. Wedding day comes, and Lisa's in full bridezilla mode, micromanaging everything. The main cake, some generic overpriced thing she paid a fortune for, was fine but boring. Think plain white fondant with basic flowers. During the reception, after the cake cutting, Tom's surprise cake is rolled out. The DJ announces it's a special groom's cake, and the room loses it. People are crowding around, taking photos, raving about how cool and unique it is. Tom's beaming, and even Lisa's forced smile can't hide how jealous she is that her cake is being upstaged. Then comes the tasting. My cake? A hit. People were begging for seconds, and the cupcakes were gone in minutes. Lisa's cake? Dry, overly sweet, and half the slices were left uneaten. I overheard guests whispering, "Who made the D&D cake? It's so much better." Lisa's face was priceless. She kept trying to steer attention back to her cake, but no one cared. To top it off, Tom gave a speech thanking me publicly, saying, "My amazing cousin-in-law made this cake, and it's exactly what I dreamed of." The room cheered, and Lisa looked like she wanted to melt into the floor. The best part? I didn't say a word to rub it in. I just smiled, accepted compliments, and let Lisa stew in her own pettiness. Now, months later, I'm getting bookings from wedding guests who love the cake, and Lisa hasn't made a single snarky comment about my baking since. Revenge is sweet, and so is that chocolate stout cake.